What's happening today, Guardians? Hey, look, I wanted to look at this scout rifle called Boolean Gemini, man. I definitely underrated scout rifle for a really long time. It just didn't really, you know, rise to the challenge when you've got scouts like Modern Multi-Tool and to lock and stuff like that, and especially Jade Rabbit. But here recently, just got a buff. Added the intrinsic perk high caliber rounds, man. Intrinsic meaning it's not going to take up anything in your trees, guys. It's always going to be loaded out on that weapon. And man, I will say, dude, I've been using it here lately, especially in 6s, and this weapon has been shining for me. So before we get started, guys, if we can go for another 1,000, oh man, it just looks sexy. It's been looking sexy in all the videos, guys. Thanks, guys. Man, y'all been keeping it sexy around here. I appreciate it. All right, fellas, let's hit this up. Alright guys, so I'm just going to give you a quick look at what Boolean Gemini has inside of it. We won't take too terribly long in this. Just remember, I'm flinching. I like to keep mine on perfect balance. You know, if you want to give yourself some more range, if you want to attain that recoil, that's completely fine, up to you. Look, you got aggressive ballistics, smooth ballistics, aggressive ballistics. I like to keep mine on smooth, man. I want to go in and load out. Again, I'm a huge advocate for stability on scouts, especially when you get into strafing fights. As you see, the intrinsic perk there, high caliber rounds. You know, it says right there, the mass makes this weapon hard to handle. I used this weapon a lot before, and let me tell you, honestly, I don't see any difference in the handling from where I am now to where it was then. You know, it doesn't seem like it's affected nearly as much as it affects some other weapons when you've got high cal rounds in these middle perks. Now, you've got one way and you've got or another. These are the bonus armor perks on non-precision kills. Stacks up to 3 times, and then one way bonus agility on precision kills stacks up to 3 times. Depends on what you want. I was doing bonus agility a bunch because I was shotgun rushing as well with it. I was having a shotgun combo with it, and so I wanted to give myself agility. I also run pulse wave a bunch, so adding all those in combination with one another, really healthy. Or another is actually really good for hunters, man. If you're going to be rocking this on a hunter class, really highly suggest or another. So by adding this intrinsic high cal round perk to it, I'm going to go ahead and say this, guys. I honestly think Boolean Gemini is the new king of scout rifles. It is, you know, when you look at it stat-wise, nothing about it is just overly impressive, but it's got a very nice magazine size. I really like the magazine size. Also, the archetype it's in, I actually like that. I've always been one to really like to lock, and so I was really, I'm a fan of the archetype that it falls on, which is that 37 rate of fire, 48 impact. But adding these high cal rounds, man, is making it king, not necessarily in its time to kill. You know what I'm saying? You got things like Jade Rabbit and weapons in that archetype that if you land 3 crits, man, you're going to be killing people at 0.8 seconds all day long. But the reason why Boolean is so good, dude, is that every time I got into a strafe fight with somebody, I was gunning them down, man. And it was simply because those high cal rounds were just flinching them so much. You go against something like, you know, say you go against Jade Rabbit. Say Boolean goes head-to-head against Jade. If you knock that Jade out, okay, if you knock him down or keep him from hitting crits on you, you will extend his time to kill, man. And you're going to win out. Regardless of your time to kill being 1 second on Boolean still, you still will win out based on flinching people so much to the point that they can't land the crits to reach that optimal kill time, is what I'm trying to get at. And so that's where Boolean really comes in, and it's being extremely nasty, man. Overall, the weapon complements my style, especially with the side perks. They can boost agility or boost your armor. All of those things are perks that are very exotic to this scout rifle. But the only reason why people have never picked up Boolean before is because so many people have been gunned down by this while using this weapon. Adding this flinch factor, adding high cal rounds to this is definitely picked it up. And like I said, guys, I honestly think it has become the new king of exotic scouts. Disregard Talak. Talak's just a nasty monster, man. Well, guys, that is your Boolean Gemini review, I guess you say, after patch. The only complaint I got about this gun is the one way or another. Both of those perks, they're silent perks, but the thing about it, I wish they were both precision. You know what I'm saying? If you look at one way, it gives you precision kills, stacks, and gives you bonus agility. I wish or another gives you that on precision kills and not non-precision kills. Because when it comes to Boolean Gemini, Boolean's really easy to land precision shots with, and so that's you know, I don't really find it difficult to not land those precision shots. So, you know, I don't understand why they don't just kind of keep it both at precision kills. Somebody even recommended having, you know, just both of them activated at all times. And, you know, I don't know. Maybe that might make it OP. I'm not sure. I don't think that would be necessarily too terrible. Either way, it's definitely dominating in the long range maps, man. Those long range engagements, those 1v1 strafe fights, and just understand the limitation of scout rifle, guys. Once you understand those limitations, you'll dominate. That's the main thing. Map positioning with scouts is extremely important, and knowing exactly when to position yourself like that and knowing when to engage your enemy, you're going to be just fine. It's going to work extremely well for you, especially popping snipers, man. This will eat snipers all day long. Slap that like button like your mama told you right.